Hello, friends. It's me, Cynthia.
And Azalea. Hello. Happy holidays, everybody.
Hope everyone is having a nice Christmas or solstice. What's some other things that people could be
Just happy
enjoying?
holidays, Everybody's enjoying the festive season in the wintertime with the nice lights and feasts and snacks and
We've been making
treats.
feasts all day, so that's been pretty good. We're going to make a movable feast tonight. I don't know if you guys are interested, but I made a movable feast for
Let's
Azalea.
show.
Let's flip that camera. Well, you guys will see it. It was when she was like 4 or 5. I used to make tiny food for her to use with her dolls. Hello, Karen. Hello, Cherie. Hello, Lauren. Merry Christmas, everyone. Yes, so I'm going to show you. I'm going to flip the camera because it's already cute. And we're going to do some of it. All right, all right. I have my festive Christmas. They're not really Christmas, but I thought I'd be festive today and put these. My friend got these for me a long time ago in Mexico. And then these, I actually have a bunch of them. They're turquoise. They're carved little flowers. I don't know if you can see that. But I'm going to have those. I just got a bunch of them, so I'm going to share. All right, Azalea's spreading everything out. I'm going to flip the camera around so you guys can see this. And tonight we're going to go we're not going to go as long as we usually do, unless the soup that I'm making is going to take longer. But and cookies, I'm going to make little tiny cookies. It'll be kind of festive, and they'll be great for tiny jewelry components or just props. Actually, Azalea, we made earrings and pendants. At one point, I made little necklaces out of them. So I'm going to flip the camera. Let me see. It's always kind of festive to get
I've
this.
set out the whole feast.
She did set out a whole
Spread that
feast.
out. All the stuff you made for me when I was little. Soup, pizza, cake with a removable slice. I was obsessed with that.
Oh, yeah, the
Eyeball part.
slices.
Yeah.
You guys don't mind the mess. Isn't this so darling? All right. I'm going to get the camera hooked up in there. Oh, does that fit that? I'm like, oh, how do I do this? I've only done it a million times before. There we go.
Good job, Mom. Good job. There you go.
There we go. Pearl. Isn't this so cute?
Yeah, that is so true.
I got
was
overheated in like
so
5
into those
seconds.
soups when I was little.
This is the one that was Azalea's favorite. So this, I modeled this after Martha Stewart's matzo ball soup. And then look at this little pizza. Isn't that so cute? And then this. This was every time we had some kind of holiday or something, I made tiny food with Azalea. And it was like a feast for the dolls. That she loved that. This one had a, where's the one with the slice? Oh, and then this is the Halloween version. So this little
For
tiny
Monster High.
eyes in a pie for Monster High dolls. They could have that. This one was a little bit bigger. What doll did this go to? Who did we make that for, that great big one?
Probably a minifee.
Oh, Minifee, that's right.
This one's one of my favorites too.
Oh, and look at this, a blood orange tart.
I was
Isn't that
obsessed.
fun?
I was pretty much obsessed with all of the pieces that you made where you used like resin and liquid polymer
Mm-hmm.
to make it look so juicy and real.
Yeah, so these are pretty sturdy. Can't break them. Unless maybe you want to, if you were to play
Here's
roughly.
my Azalea cookie. From
So
long
this is a
ago.
fun craft. I did this. When was the first time we did this? You were probably like, I don't know how old you were, but here's a cookie I made. And I made like a little mold so she could have them for the BJDs. That's ball jointed dolls. And they are like 16 inches tall. I don't know. About that. This is Barbie size right here. Here's a Barbie. And we'll have her here for the picnic. And you can see. So this is about size for if you were to make that for kids, it would be a good, like that's actual size for a Barbie. And I guess that's 1/6 scale, wouldn't you say?
I think that's what Barbie is.
Yeah,
Scale.
play scale they call it. So this is not 1/12. 1/12 scale is 1 inch to 1 foot, and that would be dollhouse size. So this is not too any specific. This is for a larger doll, but they could also be used to make earrings or pendants or charms. So let me move some of this stuff out of the way. Put her over here so you can see the scale. I keep looking at this in the corner. I did this earlier, and it looks like a fig Newton to me out of the corner of my eye, just like that. Doesn't that look like a fig Newton?
It's the right color.
I know. I was like, this is how you end up getting a mouthful of polymer clay, is that. So we weren't sure if we were going to go live tonight because it's Christmas Eve, and we were like, I don't know if people will want to watch this or not. We thought, you know what? We're not doing anything except for like, we would just watch movies like Die Hard, the ultimate Christmas movie series. Every year we watch it, So these are all made from polymer clay. And here's how I have my polymer clay organized. This is what I put it in. Now, sometimes if you have it where it's not an airtight fitting container, they can get dry. And in that case, you want to have some liquid polymer clay and a pasta roller. And it'll be gritty and sandy and horrible to work with. But if you grind it through with some of, like I bought this before and I've used it, but it's a little stiff. This is called translucent liquid Sculpey. And it's pretty nice. This one has gotten thick over the years because I only use this much in the span of like, I don't even know how old. This is pretty old. But I think you can, it says here that you can thin it with some kind of dilute. They spell
You have that fresh bottle there, right?
Yeah, this one's a different brand. This one's Fimo.
I've used
and this
it.
works
It
too. So this is good for making like the glaze on this tart. That's what that is. And also what you can use to moisturize your clay if it gets really dry, which this was super dry. It's still kind of crumbly, but I ran it through a pasta machine, and the pasta machine gets it where, you have to run it through and it's like a crumbled mess. And then I squished it like this and put liquid polymer clay. But I didn't think anyone wanted to watch me do that because it takes like 15 minutes. Well, I did more than this one, but these are some of the other tools you'd need. You could use pan pastels, which I have, or these are a very inexpensive set from Hobby Lobby. And this is just regular dry pastel. The pigments are really good to make the bread or the crust look brown. So you dust it with one of these tans. It's pretty fun. I have a couple of books to show you. Books. These are some of the first ones. This is my favorite one. I'm going to show you my favorite one. This one's called Miniature Food Masterclass. These are really advanced. This is advanced level. A lot of the stuff that I did, like I made this, the easy things. But you have to have a lot of tools to do it. But I think this is a British book, I think. This artist is out of the UK. And I believe if I'm not mistaken, I don't know. I feel like I met her when I used to do the miniature shows. We used to do one in Chicago called the Tom Bishop Show. And that one is like a big deal in Chicago. And there are a lot of mini food artists. And they'll make them where they look like, it looks real, but tiny. These are even smaller than what I made. I made these so that Azalea could play with them and have them for her dolls. Because, before then, it's not like... it's not like it was easy to find, So anyway, this is one of the books. It's a really good one if you get into it. This one this is I think the same artist, Angie Scar, and this is to make like the little crates. This is getting involved, and it's pretty cool too. So there's a lot of this is an easier one. I think it's like more beginner level to make. And we didn't make a lot of the things except for like desserts. I mean, I did want to make some of the fish and things like that, and like the veggies. Oh, wait, we did do this. That's pretty easy. That's called caning. And it's a lot of fun. So I have those few books. This is another good one if you have a dollhouse or if you like just making miniatures. And sometimes I'll make miniatures for our stop action animations, and it comes in handy to know how to know some of those techniques. So let us get into it. So I made this out of translucent Sculpey. used one part. I'm going to get this in the lineup. This is translucent, and it's it's not clear. They don't really make a clear polymer, which would be wonderful if they did, but as far as I know, there isn't a clear. It's slightly translucent, so when you bake it, it's not like a hard opaque. It has a little bit of light can pass through it. So I used some of this tan mixed with this translucent to make this. And I ran it through my pasta machine, which I have over here connected to my stool. I'm going to move this over so you can see it here. All right, so this is, let me move it, see it. So this is a stool I have this on because my table is too thick to put the clay on. All right, so when you're rolling, if you have one of these, you can get them at Michael's. They're like, I don't know, $40 maybe? I don't know. So when you're rolling through a pasta machine, you don't want to make air pockets, so you always have your open end up. It's already gotten stiff just from a few minutes. Okay, so I ran that through. I'm going to fold it like this. And I did this probably 5 times. I didn't do it a ton because, well, because I thought I'd have something to show. Otherwise, it would already be done. So you can see how it comes out. And this is useful if you do a lot of it or if you just don't want to mess around with trying to condition it with a roller. You can use a plastic roller and you can, it's like a rolling pin. So anyway, I'm going to run it through a few more times. And what you can do with this is if you wanted to make it where it's like, I don't know, several thicknesses. They used to say when you're doing PMC, like card thicknesses. This is probably, I don't know, you can change the thickness. That's the other thing about this, is you can change it from pretty thick to really paper thin. So it's like this. Let me show you. And the thinner you can get it, I mean, you want to, if you do it, it's a good way to like mix colors, but look, you can get it really super thin. I used it this way to make pie crust. Kind of looks like dough already. So I'm going to roll that again. I don't know, if you don't have, I've repurposed a lot of my tools. I don't need it that thin. I'm going to make it bigger. Thicker, I mean. Doesn't need to be that thin. Oh, hello, Carla. Hello, Robin. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining Azalea and I, and our friend Jason. We have our friend visiting, hanging out. We're getting up to some crafting. Today, Azalea, what did you guys craft on today?
I've been crocheting.
Oh,
I
crochet.
started a sweater.
Yesterday, we went to our friend Marcia. She has this business called Good Vibrations, and it's in Bernardsville. And it was pretty cool. She has goats, and so she has like little goats that we got to look at, and then she shears their fur to make yarn. There's a bunch more steps involved, but anyway. Oh, and she's dyeing some for Azalea next week. It's called Azalea's Rose or something. I'm excited to pick it up.
She named it after me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we bought a lot of yarn yesterday. It was fun. So I made a cookie. That's a cookie shape. To get the right texture, I'm going to use, I have all these repurposed tools. Toothbrush makes for a very good cookie texture. I don't know if you can see that. It gives a kind of, like, it just looks like, more like dough. Actually, I have another one. I'm going to show you this one. This is a good one. I just got this out yesterday. Or no, it was today. This, you can make your own molds with this stuff called silicone putty, and I use it to make molds. And the mold, this type of mold, this is a texture stamp, and you can use this texture stamp on anything that can be textured. Ceramic, polymer clay, paper clay, whatever that can be molded can be, this can be used because it's food grade. You could even use it for marzipan if you're like a baker. So I use this on a cantaloupe, I think. That's a cantaloupe texture. And you just mix the two parts, equal parts together, and you have like 5 minutes to make something. So what I did was I mixed it really fast, and then I smoothed this over the skin of a cantaloupe, and it made this texture. And I used this on a frog because it kind of has a froggy kind of texture. But it's kind of amorphous too. It could be anything. So I don't know if this is going to show up. Let's see. So I'm making this kind of big. So that gave it kind of like an oatmeal cookie texture, wouldn't you say? That looks pretty like a cookie, I guess. So that's a basic, we'll say.
The classic texture is with a toothbrush.
I know, but it was too fine too fast. And so this looks better. Look. Like an oatmeal cookie. Nice. That is nice, huh? So there's one.
Real right now in my mouth.
Mm-hmm. You know, all that talk. I don't know if you guys heard Softlex like a few days ago. Kristen was on, Kristen Fagan, and she was doing all this cookie talk, and it was making me so in the mood for cookies. I was like, listen. But if you don't have them, I guess you can make some polymer clay ones, and then burn a chocolate candle. It's kind of the same effect.
I don't know.
It's not the same effect at all. Just go get the cookies. All right. Did I just jolt that? I did. All right. So I have here this is kind of a trash brush. This has been through the ringer. I've used it for all different kinds of things. So a lot of times I'll buy brushes that are inexpensive. And then when they have lost all use for painting, I'll use these on making them for other things that don't need precision work. So to dust this cookie, I'm going to put a little bit of this. I want it a shade darker to look like I baked it in the oven. I'm going to bake it, but I'm going to give it that toasty look with some of this burnt umber and maybe some of this. So what you need is some kind of tool to scrape it. I have an X-Acto knife somewhere over here. I don't know where it is. So instead, I'm going to use this because I can't find it. All right. You don't have to lift it out. And actually, I wonder if that would catch it too. That'd be nice. Oh, good, it is.
Satisfying.
That's a good sound, huh? And it catches it, so what do you know? All right, so there I have a little bit of pigment. I'm going to dip my brush. I mixed a little bit of that kind of orangey color and some brown. Now let's see it. Then dust it. I'm going to try the corners first. And there, look, it's a little bit of texture. Maybe a little more of that brown on this side. Like it got a little bit of something extra. You know what would be good is if I had something that was like sugar and I could put some sugar sprinkles. But this seems kind of like an oatmeal cookie to me a little bit. Now, if you had those little hooks, you could put a hook in it on the side right in here and just gently insert that and then kind of pinch it closed, and that could be a charm or a little earring. And if I wanted to put little chocolate chips or something, you would make those first and then put them in after. So sometimes with this you work in stages, and then you'd save up your bits. So when I made this, you make a bunch of extra, and then you have a little tin, and you can just save all the extra ones, and you can use them over and over. Not over and over, but use them for other projects. Instead of like this, I made a bunch of little red berries, and after I baked them, I had like a pile of like 50 of them. And the way to do that is just to get a small amount like this. This is a brown. Oh, that's neat. I love knitting, so I knitted several little things. This is one of the things I knit here. I made this doll to look like my friend Jessica. and I knitted this little sweater. Isn't that so cute? This is sock yarn, and the needle size was like a 2 or something. They were very small. Oh, Anne Gardan is with us. Happy holidays. Yeah, we thought maybe, you know, at first we were like, I don't know, will anyone be there to watch? And I thought, what else are we doing? It'd be nice. It'll be a good time. So you can make these different sizes. I really am going to have to hunt for that X-Acto knife. I need to make some space for myself. I strung out a bunch of things.
Can we just find an X-Acto knife for you?
I have one over here. Look what else works. This is not a knife, but this will work. Okay, to make little chocolate chips, you would just make it like this, trim off a little, and then bake them, and then try to put them in. Or, if you don't care if they're not perfect, you can just make them little rounds like this, and add them to the top. And it looks just like a little Chips Ahoy. I mean, isn't that so cute? So if you're just joining us, we're making some mini food. Here's some of the examples. We'll put it in the frame so you can see it. Cake. There. I think I could use a few more. But we were going to make soup tonight. We thought that might be fun. But I don't know. It might take a while because that's kind of a lengthy process to make the soup. We'll see if we have the energy to make it. Because you have to make different components. Like there's the bowl and the whatever it is. It looks like a star anise. I don't know that I want that in my real soup. But if you baked these before and then stuck them in, they maintain their shape. That look good? You know what it looks like? It looks just like those cookies that I got at Trader Joe's the other night. And we went in there like those kind of people that go to the store right before they're trying to close. And it was like there was nobody in there. It was just me. And then I felt guilty, so I rushed out as fast as I could. And I didn't get any more of those tiny chocolate chip cookies. I'll just wait till Tuesday. Doesn't that look good? All right, so that one looks good. I'll put that in my easy bake oven. I have a little oven. I'm going to show it here. Let me see, how can I show that? I don't think I can show that without having to take the camera off.
Yeah, you don't need to show her putting it in the oven. You have a tiny little oven.
I have a tiny oven.
You're going to bake it for, what, you bake it on high?
No, I bake it at like 70%.
Yeah, but if somebody's using a regular oven, what would they do it at?
275 or 250. It doesn't need to be super hot. And I have a little convection oven that I use. And I'm not going to just bake that one. If I do, see, you can make a bunch of these little shapes. I should have, but you know what? You can make them stacked like this. That's so cute to have them stacked. All right, let me see. If you're going to make a pie crust like this, sometimes what I like to do is have a mold, or you could do it where you just sculpt it. And there's something hard in this because this is old Sculpey. Some piece of something crunchy in there. So this is going to be like a frittata. No, wait, a frittata is a crustless quiche. Is that right? Frittata? What I'm making would be a rustic tart.
Rustic tart.
And it's so small. You know what I was using before is, let me see if I have something. Oh, here we go. The lid to this room spray. This will be perfect. So in miniature making, there's a lot of repurposing. Oh, I'm not even in the field of vision. Okay. This would make a good cream tart. I'm making myself hungry for this. I'm going to make real cookies, I think, because I can't stand it. All this talk about cookies. All right, so that looks not perfect, but it's okay. I'm going to dust this one to make it look like I par-baked it just like a real piece of pastry. Maybe I'll give it a little texture too. But that's how I did these. See, they look like they're actually baked. And that's just a little bit of pastel. Okay, it looks good. Tasty. Okay, there's one for the oven. Maybe I'll do it on this. It's like my cookie sheet. Now, I like to use, I get these tiles from, I think, Lowe's. And you know how they have, or you can buy one pack, like a sample one to test it out in your bathroom. This is made out of ceramic. And these are so good for wax work. They're good for polymer work. They're good for a lot of things. And it has polymer clay stuck to it all over. But it doesn't matter because it comes right off. Like if you were to scrape it like this, you just scrape it completely off. And then it's ready for use. And this is kind of like my pie plate. Oh, thank you, Julie. I know, sugar, sugar, sugar. We had fun making these. This is a fun kids project. If you have kids around, kids love doing this. I used to kill tons and tons of time making mini food with my kids and other people's kids. It was always fun. And I had these boxes of organized clay. I had Azalea one for her. I have one for Max. So whenever they feel like making anything, they could just get this out. It's already organized by color. And, you know, I'll wait till there's a sale. Sometimes we'll get them like this. And if you use a coupon, you can get them for like half off. I think Joann still has coupons like that. I know Hobby Lobby did away with their coupon, so you can't really use that. But, you know, you wait till they're on sale, then you can just stock up. And if you put them in an airtight container, they don't dry out. But this one is not completely airtight, so it does kind of dry out a little bit. So what I would say is put it in another container or tub to keep it from getting chalky, which nobody likes, you know. All right, so this one, this is what I'm gonna put into my little oven. All right, what should I make next? So I'll make one more little, like this type of thing. Maybe I'll do, these little pies are so fun. Maybe I'll make them where it's like this way. If you have a cutter, which I thought I had some cutters. Thought they were in the container, but they weren't in there. So you could make them like sandwich cookies. You won't see that side of it, so I'm just going to put them down and have filling. Oh yeah, Joann does have some good coupons. We were there the other day. The thing about Joann is that long line. It's like I've made friends, and I've been sitting in the line so long I've made friends. That's how long. Yeah, so that's almost the same. I'm going to texture it a little bit. Yeah, I think this is pretty fun. All right, I'm going to make some more of these if I want to make chocolate chips. Or maybe I'll make something with red. What do you think, Azalea? Something with red berries?
Yes.
To fill?
There's those tarts over there. You should make a little base out of this clay, like one of these tarts, and then you can make a little cherry tart.
I know. Are there any cherries already done? Because that'd be nice.
Extremely tempted to come in here. There might be actually in that.
So let me show you. Look at this. This is the original. So there's a lot in this box.
You can tell which ones I made.
Oh, so here's what I was talking about. When you make your components, you make a big box of it. So this one has a lot of little candy shapes and little mushroom shapes.
I've held back long enough. I'm gonna join in.
She's gonna. Azalea is like, get in there. Look at this one. Cookie ice cream sandwich. Yeah. So this is the whole. There's a bunch of different. I'm
just gonna get a little piece of this beige cookie clay you made.
Oh, here, look at this one. You guys are gonna like this one. That's a custard cream tart.
Custard cream.
Greg makes Paul Hollywood's tarts, and they're so good. Yeah, what's this one? I don't know. It's like a sandwich with cheese. I was looking for some of those little berries that you made. We made so many of those berries. Look, we made enough for like, I don't know how many doll place settings. But we made a lot. Oh, some bowls. So these are, look, Azalea, you made this bowl. You can fill that up with soup.
If it's really good, Lily probably made it.
And then look at this, the kind of, oh, what does that say? Cass.
Oh yeah, Lily, she did make that. It's for Cassius, my doll.
So it's supposed to be like a ceramic bowl.
I think she put a date on it too. Yeah, it says 20. She made that in 2020. It says Cass Bay LD 20. Lily made that in 2020. That's sweet.
Look at this wedding cake that Azalea made.
Lord.
It looks good.
Yeah.
Or how about this? This is a good one too.
The gnome hat cupcake. I know, I think
That looks good. And made a lot of these. Oh, that one, I'm not sure. That's like a Monster High dish.
Which one?
That one.
Yeah.
Some kind of blue soup.
For sure.
I was looking for more of those berries, but I don't see them. Oh, I just said that, and there's some in here. Some kind of, like, candy shape. It's like pink and white. Anyway, let's see. What is this? I don't know what that is. I'm reminding myself of that Tom Waits song. You know, that one he's like, what is he doing in there? What is he building?
Huh?
There's a Tom Waits song. I don't know what it's from. I can't remember the rest of it. But that's all I remember from it. Yeah, so they're pretty sturdy because they survived being in this. And then this is what I drew on the top of it. That's how old it is. Azalea's Movable Feast. She's getting the clay out. She's ready to roll.
Damn straight.
Oh, Sheree has, she says, you need a big blueberry muffin. You hear that?
I'm making a tart.
She's making a tart.
It's already in motion.
Lots of things in motion. All right, I'm going to bake this. I kind of wanted to make a bowl, but I don't know. All right, I'm going to put this in the oven. I have a little convection oven.
Before you bake that, let me get over there.
You're going to throw that in the oven, the easy bake? Can have some of this dough. We would call it, like, here's the dough. We're going to go next level. See this? I got this ready. Yeah, I did. For some added in UV resin. Azalea's like, how long is this live going to be? And I'm like, hey, we're going to make some mini food. We're making mini food tonight, y'all. We'll see what happens. So here, give it to me and let me do it.
I was trying to make it look.
So she is making a rustic tart. This is with the dough of a little bit of tan and a little bit of translucent, like half and half.
There, tint it for me and make it look like it's been baked, so it's not bland.
Oh, she doesn't want it to be bland. So this was the way I was doing that. Listen to this weird sound now.
Oh, seasoning.
This is brown. Let's see. Let's get some tan in there so it's not like charcoal flavor. You know, I think that the pan pastels are a little bit like richer in color, but these work pretty well. And I mix it, so I mean, I think it's a little too orange, so let's put a little bit of this terracotta color in there. And give it a little bit of a stir. Yeah, I think that looks good. It's a little orangey though, Azalea.
It's okay.
It'd been better if it were more brown, dark brown. Like it got baked really well in the oven. Okay, I'm gonna put that in.
Like somebody pinched it by hand.
Yeah, someone did pinch it by hand.
I mean, like a doll.
All right. And then 70%, and you cook it for, they say 10 to 15 minutes per quarter inch. So I'm going to do 12 minutes. So in 12 minutes, we'll take that out. They'll come out of the easy bake. Okay. Did anyone make a feast for Christmas? A Christmas feast? Or a holiday feast, I guess. if you're not into Christmas.
Yeah, just you know,
Oh, I think I'll make some little
a holiday
berries.
feast.
No, I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
We're gonna
what
make.
holiday.
You know what? We're
Feasting.
gonna. We found crab legs at Harris Teeter, and we're gonna have crab legs. So that's good news. The only bad news is that sometimes I am a little bit allergic, but you know what? Sometimes it's worth it. All right, so this is that super crumbly, clear, that translucent. Sometimes it gets on my last nerve when it does this. I hate it when it does this. And that's what happens when it gets a little bit too much air. So what I'm doing, I'm putting a little bit of this, they call it liquid polymer clay. And this is good for making things look like it has a glaze on it, like a sugar glaze. And what I'm making now, this is translucent clay, and I'm mixing it with some alizarin crimson color from Primo. I think Primo makes the most like artisan grade colors, like they're more saturated. And you'll see what I mean. Like this is, I only put the tiniest pinch of the dark red or alizarin crimson color. Oh, nice, Suzanne. Making something special. Yeah, for a lot of years I didn't really celebrate. It was kind of not as much fun for me for some mysterious reason. I guess it's not a mysterious reason. But it was kind of like not a lot of reason to be celebrating. But nowadays with kids, I make more of an effort. So look at this color. That kind of looks like steak. So I'm going to move this so you can see what I'm doing here. Oh. Almost lost it. Alright. I'm going to show how this goes. So this is not conditioned. One of the things you want to do is condition your clay, because if you don't, it doesn't hold up, because polymer clay is basically like epoxy. And if you don't condition it, look at this, it's crumbly. And it'll be kind of horrendous to work with. So what you don't want to do is fold this into little squares. You want to make it so the air can come out. So I fold it one direction only, see? So the air can come out either end. Otherwise, if you have it where you're folding it in different ways too tightly, so it's kind of stuck, I'm going to use... Now this is a super cheapo pasta machine. It's not one of the high-end ones, so it's not as good as like one of the really durable ones that have like a motor on it. Those you don't even have to crank it. It cranks it by machine, by motor. So I'm getting a better color. You can see it's getting there, but this is not fully mixed. And see, there's still a few places. So this is what I'm talking about, one direction, folding in one. I'm not folding down because that would trap the air. And you don't want that, because then when you bake it, you'll get kind of like puffy air bubbles. And so I'm just doing a small piece. This, sometimes the conditioning can take forever. It's getting a little smoother, and it'll be surprising when this cooks. You'll see why it's kind of cool. It's getting there. There's a little bit of striation. Maybe I'll add a little bit more pink. It'll be more pink when this is cooked. It won't be as red, I don't think. But that red is very concentrated, so maybe it will. I don't know. This is a good way to mix, to make different color mixes. All right. Okay, from this I'm going to shape some little cherries or something. Oops. got this new thing. It's pretty easy, but it's not as easy as the other one I had. So I'm going to make some. I made these little eyes. That was a lot of fun. So these little berries, I made them on this, and they are, I'm surprised they're still stuck on there, to be honest. I kind of expected them to fall off.
You making berries?
Yeah.
You stuff from a tart? I'm going to make a tart.
So you just roll them. You can't even see it hardly. I guess I could do something, you could do it in your palm and roll it like this. And anytime you attach something you like this small type of thing, you'd want to use a little dollop or a little bit of liquid polymer to keep it from just rolling off. And you can use different materials. Like I'm going to use, if this is baked properly, you can use other things.
Could you tint the liquid polymer?
Yes, you can tint it with oil paints. Oh, thank you for joining us, Maria.
Do you think you could tint the liquid polymer with some of the pastel powder so it can be really subtle?
Mm-hmm, you can do that. So we can show that.
Yeah, you should. That would be
Get
nice.
a paper
Since we don't
towel
have
because,
oil paints out.
huh?
Since we don't have oil paints out and pastels in there.
Mm-hmm, the pastel. I mean, these are okay. They're not as good as pan pastels.
Don't you have the pan pastels over here?
No, the pan pastels are downstairs.
Would you let me get them?
No, because I have this already. I don't need to string it out. I mean, I can barely get through here. I have all my stuff. I piled all the things that I would need. I don't even, probably not even going to use it. All right, let me see. I have 5 more minutes on this. So I'm going to tuck these guys right into that oven. They're so small, they'll bake
Yeah,
in like a minute.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm. And then I'll put them in like a glaze. Like a sandwich cookie. I actually could probably, you could probably use that UV resin. I'm going to poke those in there. Let's see, get in there, you. Man, I got a lot of use out of that thing.
I know that oven for years.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now we have about 5 minutes, 4 minutes. What should we do in that time? Oh,
you
I
can
should
show
condense.
off what I made, what I've been working on.
Oh, so there's a few minutes while this is doing its
Show
thing,
so far.
baking. Oh, our friend Clem. Hello, Clem. You love miniatures. I love miniatures. It's good all around. Y'all check out this thing Azalea's crocheting. This is one of her projects, and it's blueberries. So, isn't that cute? I love
I know
it.
it's like that bubble stitch.
It's a bubble stitch, but look, the blueberry part and then the stem.
It's
Isn't that adorable?
I'm gonna fold it in half
She's
when
gonna
it's done,
fold it.
and sew it, right sides together in the bottom, and
To
then
make-
it's gonna make a little pouch. I'm making it for my friend Lily for Christmas.
She's gonna line it.
Yeah, with a little zipper at the top.
It's so cute. Yeah, that came out good. Good job.
Thank you. I think I'm only gonna do maybe 1 or 2 more rows and call it done.
Oh,
Or
and then
other
I
than the
see
pouch.
these. So she has a bunch of these going.
My little.
This is
granny
hand-dyed
square.
yarn that she did we went to the Pearls Retreat a few years ago, pre-2020, and
It's
we
soft
dyed this. This is a sock yarn. Isn't this good? This is
Wool.
her own dyeing. So this was dyed. We went to Montreat College for that retreat. It was not related to the college. It was just at the college.
We got in this big house and we stayed in those rooms shared with Star.
Yeah, it was fun. We
I
shared with our
remember
friend.
I would frog around in the woods around it.
Mm-hmm.
for
It had a
hours
beautiful,
a day.
beautiful.
The creek.
Oh, and then check this out. These are polymer clay. These are made by my friend Clue. Look at this. These are polymer clay. Can you believe that? You would never guess. I guess I don't think I would guess that. This isn't a necklace I made many years ago. And that's been bouncing around in my collection for a while. I found it today and I was like, man. So this is using polymer and mica. And these are polished by hand afterwards. This is not a spray finish. The polishing by hand gives you that sort of tiger eye effect. And I put, let me see, I think I bought a strand of them, but I did an asymmetrical. And I used three of those fancy beads. If you remember, her name was like Karen Lewis, but her business was called Klew, Klew. She made these like, she's famous for making those like barrel beads. That's Shibuichi pendant that went with it. That's actually aged pretty well. I had some, you know, those Austrian crystals in there. Back when they used to do the simple shape. Came out good. I'll show how to make, I don't know how she does this particular cut. I don't know if she has a tutorial or anything like that, but I had a, well, no, I don't know how to make those exactly like that. The ones I made were a lot simpler, like a lot. So they had the same kind of sheen, but not that patterning. That patterning is specific to her work. And you can come up with different ones by how you fold and, you know, make the different layers. So that's layered with different colors of polymer. All right, so I'm going to tidy this area up, get some of that stuff out of the way, and get ready to do some, oh, I know what I need to do. I need to find some white. Where's that white? Love a new container of Sculpey when it's all fresh and I don't have to mess around with it. So good. When I don't have to condition it so hard. I mean, you should always condition it. So this is going to be the sandwich filling in that one cookie. And I'm going to mix a little bit of clear with it. This clear, well, I keep calling it clear, but it's translucent. So that was the sound of that stuff. Oh, see how delightful that is? Oh, yes, fresh polymer as opposed to old and dry. Old and dry, but it's okay because if it is, all you have to do is use it in small amounts and just get this stuff, the liquid, and I'll put a little bit in my hand, just a tiny bit, because I'm not mixing that much. And you could actually tint this with some of the pan pastels. I keep calling it pan pastels, but this is not, this is just regular pastel. Not to be confused with oil pastel. I think oil pastel will not set up. I don't know if I even tried that. People have used oil paints with some amount of success, but I don't know. I feel like I wish it was not oils, because oils are kind of stinky.
Stinky.
Oh, Clem noticed my matzo balls. I followed Martha Stewart's. She had that picture, and I don't know that I've ever even had it before. I just looked at that picture and was like, I want to taste that soup. Mm-hmm. And I did not taste it, but it looked good. I was imagining it as tasting like chicken and dumplings is what I was imagining, but looks like I contaminated that with a little bit of peach because it was on the roller. So this is like the marshmallow fluff that's in the middle of my cookie sandwich. So that is not mixed. It's still a little chalky. By mixing this Fimo liquid polymer, it's like it revives it and brings it back to life. And the only thing, though, about it is that you have to work really slowly and in small amounts, because otherwise it makes a mess. A real big mess. Oh. All right, this is time for Tenderfrog to help me get this out. I don't have a hot plate, but this hand puppet works really good as a hot plate or a hot pad. Yes, I have puppets just randomly around my house. It's a thing. All right, so these are cooling. Looks pretty good out of the Easy Bake Oven. Wouldn't that be good if they made these to have like fruit flavor smells? It could either be really good or really gross. Okay, so these are flaming hot. I'm going to give them a minute. So this was, the white is for this cream. Clem says the matzo balls are dumplings, but different texture. I thought that they would have a texture. I was imagining them having kind of like, I don't know. I was just picturing like my grandma's chicken and dumplings. One of the best. every time I make it, they come apart.
Oh, the dumplings?
Yeah, and it's not great. So this is like the Oreo filling. Look good. What do you think of that, Azalia?
Let's see it. That looks like something I made when I was like 7.
Now, what's the topping? Oh, maybe I'll do it like a frosting. So it'll be like frosting on top. So I could put one of those things on top. This is a lot of fun.
It seems like it. I wonder.
You don't need a lot of tools and you don't need a lot of supplies.
What if you had like a tiny frosting bag full of like liquid polymer and you could squeeze it like piping onto it and it would have that texture?
That does not look good, that right there, because it's all dusty. Look how dusty that is. You would not want to eat that.
No.
I'm going to use one of these little cherries on top. Looks okay. So I'm going to put this as the glaze. And it'll look a little bit better, hopefully. There, it has kind of like a sugary glaze on there. I'm going to return that. Okay, now what do you want to put on yours?
On mine, I want to make a little bit of like a pink cream and then put the cherries in it. Yeah, look at that.
Let's use UV resin.
Rustic. It's cute though. It's cute.
Let's use UV resin to make the cream. Wouldn't it be fun?
Yeah, okay.
Because I have all these.
You think it would set up if you put oh yeah, you could mix in
Yeah, you have every color, look. We're gonna get experimental now. It's not like we're not experimental, but we're gonna get even more experimental.
Boom.
So this is kind of like making the soup. What do you want, this color? Look at this. Yeah. Let's see what that looks like. Let's kind of tidy this up so it's not...
Let me put this in there real quick. I have to do it. Alright, we're gonna set that. Oh yes, the cream.
Oh, that's a good color.
That's my cherry tart.
You want to put some of those in there?
Of course.
Float them.
Oh yeah, I'd eat that super hard right now. I used up most of your cherries. Well, let's use
I need a stick.
Yeah, stir that. Fix it. My fingers got so sticky just from picking that up.
Oh, here's a tool. Handily. Here's a tool right here. Up.
I guess I get all of them.
She's getting all of them. Okay, so
There's little hair.
we don't want a hair in the food.
Yeah, they look good.
Okay. They're kind of going down to the bottom. I don't want them to go all the way down.
Yeah.
Shoot, I lost it. Man down. Dang.
Them.
All right.
Correct.
Okay. That's not too terrible.
Now, real quick, get the lamp
All right, I got it.
before they sink. Now we got the UV lamp.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to reposition them. I'm going to reposition it.
Need help?
You know what? Get ready. And we'll do this. It'll be a two-man job. So I'm going to lift them up. And then you're going to come in behind me when they're... You know what? We put too much in here. I have an idea.
No, they're floating by themselves. You just keep touching them.
They're not floating. They're
Look
like...
at it. That looks fine. Look here. Fix this part.
No, it's not. Listen, it's not floating. It's not floating. It's sinking. Let's take some of them out. That's too much. There's too much good in there.
Too much good.
They're going to the bottom. I don't love that. I'm going to take them out. And then we'll do it. We'll pre-bake it. Yeah, that's kind of fussy. Okay. Hopefully, I'm going to cover those up so they don't get messed up. Did I put a lid? Oh. So this is UV resin, and it will set up in like 5 minutes. This also works if you're outside. Oh. I didn't realize I had 2 glow-in-the-dark clays in there. Look at that one is glowing under this, that glow. Makes it glow really good. Okay, now that let's see if it's, okay, you. All right. Oh, so now it's hardened. Now we'll go back and float these guys in there. And you know what? That was activated through the paper towel. So they kind of stuck. Okay, now that there's a layer of the cream on the bottom. Hey, let's find a little bit, a different color. Do you want me to put a different color in there? Let's do this lighter pink. Let's see what happens if we do that. Here's a really light pink. Let's see, we'll just float those right on the bottom. Or maybe let's do clear. What are we doing here? What is all this opaque talk? I'm gonna find a hot pink that's clear. This is not a hot pink, but it's close enough. And here we go. This is gonna look good. This is kind of see-through. The other was a little too opaque. That way they're not all on one side. Okay. Get all this out of the way. I need to tidy up my station. All right. I think that'll look good. Oh, I could probably glaze these little chocolate chips on there to make them shiny. And for this purpose, you could either go with UV, or not, this is not UV, this is the liquid polymer to make those little chocolate chips shiny. You can use a little brush to put it on. Let me get this out of the way. Yeah, this, hey, what flavor do you think I should make this one?
Lemon.
Lemon. Oh, good thinking. Let's make a lemon one. What about that? Light orange. That would be more like orange curd. This one. What about that? Dark yellow?
Yeah, because that's how it would look if you bake some lemon tart action.
Okay, so here's Azalea's rustic tart made out of polymer clay and UV resin.
Did you bake it already?
Yeah, I baked it and I put that, let me see, is that, it kind of rolled off onto the side there, but I could peel that off. And it feels like it's done.
Perfect.
You could, if it's not completely done, you could put them out under the sun.
It's kind of scrumptious.
Let's make this one. This is the tart I made.
The tart case or the tart.
Okay, we're gonna put some yellow UV in there. Oh, that does look just like lemon curd. Look at that. Look at Azalea.
I love lemon curd.
I have a cute picture of Max where he is disgusted looking at this big jar of lemon curd because he wanted to get at it with like a spoon. He was just like, why aren't we eating this whole thing with a spoon? Oh,
yeah, you used to have like that blog. And on the blog you posted like Max's face when I told him he couldn't have the whole jar for himself.
He was not happy.
Like when you are told you need to share and you can spread it thinly on some toast.
He's like, spread it thinly? What is this talk?
He didn't want that talk, but that's just...
All right, so that's the lemon curd is down. Get ready to bake it. We'll do it for 60 seconds. Perfect. And you want to make sure before you turn this on that you have all the lids of your resin, UV resin, closed up, because you know what? I had like the tops off and I just had them next to me and it hardened. Even though it was like just a little bit of this ambient light, it totally hardened around the top and made it where it was really hard, and I had to pick it off to get it to close again. So, all right, let's see. See what's coming out of the oven. Okay, so this cookie is like a how do you say those ones? You know, the one that Sheila would bring from Cleveland? Kalashkis. Somebody can help me pronounce it. Kalashkis or something. Anyway, they were not really baked hard. They were baked really pale like this. And they had a raspberry filling. They were really good. Okay, so there's one thing. This has the liquid Sculpey as the shiny glaze. Okay. Ugh, there's an air bubble in my curd. You know what? I had some of the snow. It was called, what was it? You know that snow was, I looked upstairs. I couldn't find it.
It's used for miniatures.
It is used for miniatures, but I can't find it.
Miniatures, like it's snow.
So anyway, there's a product you can get at hobby stores and for railroad size miniatures. And they have this product that you can use that's called, it's like, I don't know what it's actually called, but it's good for making things look like it has snow on them. And I bought some so that it could look like dollops of whipped cream. So since I don't have that, I'm going to use white. Do I have white in here? And maybe some of these to balance that on top. Hopefully this works. This one I use a lot of the white. It's like the secret sauce. The only problem with the UV is you cannot cut it like you can with a polymer. That's the only drawback, is that it's not as easily cut. I don't know if I like that white on there. I don't know. I did it, so there you go. And then here's one singular berry that can be split. I don't know if I love that. But I don't know what I did. I guess I don't know what happened. I thought I made more. And see the mistake I was about to make? I just, look at that. I did it after telling you. So, cap it first before turning on the light. Otherwise, you harden half of your stuff. That's the learning and growing. Okay, now, sometimes I save after I've mixed this up like this. I have a little tin that I put my pre-mixed pieces in, and I don't know what I did with it. My tin, it's somewhere around here, but that's so I don't have to mix it again, and I don't want to throw that back into my box. Sometimes I do, but usually I have a little tin that I put the scraps like this so that it's ready to go. All right, so tonight we made this tart. That was Azalea's tart, and I made this chocolate chip cookie. It's so cute. And then I made this like cream sandwich. And, oh, the other thing I made is in here, in the oven. A lemon kind of tart. This one you can't cut. These you could probably cut. This you could cut. And some of them are good when you cut them. They can have that kind of texture. And it's kind of satisfying like this. I cut it so you could see. Otherwise, how would you even know that this was not just a solid block of polymer clay? And this one I did not cut. This Monster High tart for Draculaura and Frankie Stein. If you guys remember when Monster High used to be a thing. We had a whole feast for them. Azalea used to like to make all the place settings, and each doll had their own food and drink. She kept me busy. Real busy. All right, let's see. What else did I have in there? What is your thoughts on this, Azalea? You think we should continue making some mini food?
How long have we been on?
Oh, we've been on for just over an hour, or just an hour. So I was gonna make this.
Our goodies.
I was gonna make this soup, but
maybe we can do that on Wednesdays.
Maybe.
And then we'll have a
I don't know. How did y'all feel about miniature food making? Do you think that was fun? Or do you think it was weird? I mean, it is weird, but
no, it's good.
if you liked it, let's see if anyone liked it. Then you can say a thumbs up. We're going to go, I think we're going to go on Monday or on Wednesday. Azalea thought we should do that. Oh, this so difficult. This gets so chalky. Would you like to see more polymer clay? Because we could do more. Just depends on what everybody's into. Doesn't. Oh, I just noticed this. I got these in Tucson. Check that out. Isn't that neat? Let me take it out of the package. This just, my eye just lit on it. That's a, what does it say? An ammonite with ammonite inlay. Isn't that cool? I'm going to set that into something. I bought it, I don't even know how many years ago, and I never did anything with it. I just found this when I was hunting upstairs in this bag. There are so many bags upstairs that I have never even opened. These have never even seen the light of day until now. And it's not even the light of day. It's UV resin light. This one came out good. Look at this. This is called ammonite with an ammonite inlay. I bet I could make that in polymer clay. Maybe. Kind of looks like mother of pearl, but this is actually, they find this in, I think it's Labrador, Canada. We met these people in Tucson that had ammonites, and I'm like, how do you know where to go to find, because that was like their whole business is this. It's like so specific. And this, look at this, you guys are going to love it. This is called Gilson Created Opal. This is not real opal. It's like gem silica or maybe resin. I'm not sure. There's two formulations. And this is to imitate really fancy opal. And they use a electrical sort of setup, the same way you do electroforming, but it's really sturdy and nice. So anyway, that's I don't know how to do that. That's some scientific knowledge. This is actually the same thing, but with a weird, like, rustic layer of quartz. That's called a doublet. And they call it that because they were doubling the opal and the quartz. This is the Gilson Created Opal, I think. Let's see. Lab-grown opal with quartz on top. So that is what that is. I was going to make a pendant with that. I know, and the good part about the quartz on top is that it protects the opal underneath. Not that this stuff needs a lot of protection, because it's very durable, incredibly durable. You've probably seen glass blowers use it in those pendants. I have one sitting on the table. Oh, here we go. Here's one. Look at this. So you've seen them. This is one that has, I don't know what the one in there is. Maybe a synthetic stone, who knows? But it has to withstand the heat of the furnace, and I think that goes to 1650. And so a lot of times you'll see the opal or opalite. This is not called opalite. I wanted to call it just now opalite, but opalite is glass. This is not glass. It's pretty neat though. So there's no, like, you know, they didn't have to go after it with dynamite to mine it, which is a nice thing. Yeah, Robin, I agree. It does look like real opal. I think it's gem silica. I'm not sure exactly, but it's pretty cool. It's just really durable. So I have some opals. You know what? Like a fool, I left them on my windowsill, and I came back several years later to discover they cracked. So don't leave your opals out where they can get overheated. I'm going to put those in some waxwork. So that is our demonstration of making polymer clay mini food or mini food desserts. Next time I think we'll make some sushi, because we did that before and I don't know what we did with it. I think it went into the remit food box. But maybe we'll make that next. Or we can make beads. We've made beads many times. It'll just depend on what kind of materials I have spread out that day. So here's help me gather up the movable feast. This is, if you make extras, like I'm going to do after we're done, I'm going to make some more chocolate chips, and I'm going to fill this up so I can make some little components next. Load those up. So thank thank you all for joining us this evening. That was a lot of fun. And we hope that you have a wonderful holiday and you get enough rest and maybe get some creative endeavors taken care of tomorrow or the next day. We're going to be crafting all night, just like we always do. But maybe we'll have something festive on, like a Midsummer Murders. That's the Christmas one. All right, let's flip this camera around. Okay, I'm going to get ready to do... Oh, here it is. Okay, getting ready. I know, it's like a whole thing. Back camera. And I'm so horrified of having, or it's like the front camera and then my face is like lit from below. Ah. There, I got it. I almost got it. All right. Thank you all for joining us this evening. We hope you had a lot of inspiration from that. And we will be going live again on Wednesday. I think what we're going to do is a shop clear up to make our shop nice and tidy. So we'll be doing some sales on kits, and I'm not sure what else. I'm going to go look at my studio and see what I can do. I might do a studio tour, although when I was up there today, I was like, man, it is dusty. So I can hunt for new things to show you guys. I'll look for another project. I think next on Wednesday, what do you think we should do, Azalea? More UV? Soup. She wants to make that soup. We were both really into making the soup. But I think maybe it might be bezels. So filled UV resin bezels. I have a few in my collection that I've made over the years. And they were part of a collection I did in the early 2000s. And I haven't made them since. So maybe we'll do that. Because I've had many times people say, hey, do you make those polymer... Or maybe they weren't polymer, they'll say the resin bezels. That's what we used to call them. And I stopped making them because they were so labor intensive. But maybe what I'll do eventually, Robin, mold making is like one of those projects that it's not fast. It's actually lengthy and time consuming. I can show you different parts of it, but to show you the whole process of mold making in one go is pretty ambitious. It would be like several hours. So that's why I haven't done the mold making. If I did do the mold making, it would be like, okay, we're going to do step 1. And then that's 1 hour for the step 1 and deciding, because there's different kinds of molds. And we have one going right now. It's called a French mold, and I'm making a frog hand puppet. And I'm going to ask Greg if we can do... we need to videotape because it's a very involved process. Like the whole mold, I mean, he's been working on it for 2 weeks. It's been a long process and it's pretty cool. So maybe we'll show that. It wouldn't be enough. It'd be way too involved for a live, but I have done some where we've shown how to pour silicone. And if you have my book, Enchanted Adornments, there's a very rustic and simple way to make a silicone mold using a toilet paper roll or a paper towel roll. And that's the easiest way to make a mold. But again, that's still something that, it's a very slow process, especially pouring the silicone. Because when you pour silicone, you want to pour it in a steady, thin stream on one spot. And pouring it, there are times when I've poured silicone where it's taken me a good 10 minutes just to fill up a small mold like this. Because if you rush it, you get air bubbles. And that is not what you want when you're making molds. You do not want any air bubbles at all, because that will affect your final piece. So I am going to keep that on the list and figure out how I can show a very basic mold. Or maybe I can do it in such a way where we'll do it in a broken up segments. Sometimes Kate does a master class. If you could follow beadshop.com. They do their free tip Friday, and sometimes they'll have a Wednesday thing, and she does some masterclass ones where they're broken up into maybe 6 segments, and that could be something that we do. If that's something you're interested in, you can give me a thumbs up or comment and let me know that that's something you'd be interested in. So anyway, thank you all for joining us this evening. We had a wonderful time, and we hope that you can join us on Wednesday and also on next Sunday. So hopefully we might be in Florida then. I'm trying to get down to see my folks one more time before the new year. So that's on my agenda. We might be in Florida for that, but we'll hopefully have something for you on Wednesday and Sunday. And don't forget, we have a midsummer market with the Great Bead Extravaganza coming up on, I think it's, I want to say January 12th and 13th. I should have, every time I do this, I'm like, I should have had that written down on a thing so I could look at it and I'd know exactly. But we'll share it in a newsletter and let you know the exact dates. So thank you all, and we'll be seeing you. Love everyone out there. Bye-bye.